Good afternoon, and welcome to the Fall 2019 Sci-Fi Chapter Induction Ceremony. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, College President Dr. Lawrence Barrett, and the faculty and staff of Florida Gateway College, we welcome you. My name is John Hawes, and I am the co-advisor for the Sci-Fi Chapter of Phi Theta Kappa. Today, we are here to celebrate the outstanding academic achievements of some very special people in your lives. Please stand and welcome our chapter officers and the Fall 2019 Sci-Fi Chapter inductees.
Thank you for joining us today. My name is Kristen Casperson, and I'm the co-advisor for the Sci-Fi chapter of Phi Theta Kappa. I'd now like to introduce our chapter officers. Chapter President, Bethany Howell. Chapter Vice President, Kelsey Longnecker. Chapter Treasurer, Kamaya Bennett. Chapter Secretary, Cheyenne Montoya. Thank you. You may be seated.
PTK was established by Missouri two-year college presidents in 1918. Phi Theta Kappa is an international honor society which serves to recognize and encourage the academic achievement of two-year college students. To achieve this purpose, Phi Theta Kappa shall provide opportunities for the development of leadership and service, for an intellectual climate for exchange of ideas and ideals, for lively fellowship for scholars, and for stimulation of interest in continuing academic excellence.
Good afternoon. I would like to thank everyone for joining us today. It is my pleasure to introduce FGC President Dr. Lawrence Barrett as our speaker today.
I first want to apologize with these lights. We put in new lights here, and I know the reflection off my bald head is probably bothering most of you, but one of our slogans this year is Go Further Together. And we have a select group for Phi Theta Kappa today, about 55 individuals that will be receiving that honor. We have 5,500 students here. So that represents, with some of our existing students that are here, we have about 250 students in the entire chapter that are still students here. So that represents, why I say that is that it's about 3% of our entire student body. And has anybody ever watched Dancing with the Stars? They say that the creme de la creme. The students that are being inducted today are the creme de la creme of Florida Gateway College, and we're so proud of them. But getting back to going further together, these students would have never accomplished this without the support of you in this audience and those that couldn't make it here today. So them becoming creme de la cremes and the best and the brightest here at Florida Gateway College, it's due to the fact that friends, family, parents, grandparents, spouses, and the amount of students we have here is from non-traditional students to dual enrollment students. So the diversity of this campus is so bright, and it's so important to us as we talk about diversity of this campus. I'm very proud of these students, and I'm very proud of our campus, and I'm very proud of our faculty and staff that have helped nourish and try to provide educational opportunities for our students. So when we talk about everyone coming together, it does take everyone to exemplify these students today. I'll be really brief about my remarks. I was not the creme de la creme of my community college. I graduated from a community college in upstate New York, graduating class of about 300. And I went to a community college, a state college, because no one else would give me that opportunity. And my parents had only a 7th grade education. So when I see these types of students that have excelled and they're working and they're doing things, their extracurricular activities, I see some athletes here, I see some theater students here, I see students that are working full-time. I'm going to school. I'm just amazed at what they did because I needed to go to school full-time in order to be successful. And so I think of that, and today, this is about you, but I reflect upon my own experience and say you have a wonderful opportunity from here to go on for your workforce, working in the workforce, or going on and transferring to a university or college. And one last bragging point about our students is that we're second in the whole state of Florida in transfer students to their GPAs when they go on to those universities and colleges. Our students have a 3.1 GPA. Once they get to the University of Florida, Florida State University, FAMU, I can go on. And the home students that started at those institutions have a 3.2. So our students do excel at the same thing as students that started there. So we're so proud of you today. So thank you for all of you for being part of the Florida Gateway College experience. And I expect to see each and every one of you either at our December graduations that we now have or in the May graduations. So thank you and have a wonderful evening. Watching your sons, daughters, spouses, etc. Receiving this special recognition. Thank you very much.
At this time, we will begin the process of induction. Honored Xi Phi Chapter President and fellow Phi Theta Kappa members, I am pleased to present to you these candidates for membership in our honor society. These students have fulfilled all requirements for membership and have been selected because they have chosen scholarship, leadership, service, and fellowship as their hallmarks. I recommend them for acceptance into our Xi Phi chapter of Phi Theta Kappa International Honor Society of the two-year college.
You're about to be inducted into a scholarly fellowship which embraces two-year colleges, not only for your own state, but for the nation and the world. This fellowship is Phi Theta Kappa, and your chapter is Xi Phi. After induction, you will find among the members an atmosphere of scholarship to which you must give of yourself in order that the organization may be meaningful to you. Our ideals may be expressed in the words of Sir Francis Bacon in his essay of studies. Studies serve for delight, for ornament, and for ability. Their chief use for delight is in privateness and retiring. For ornament is in discourse, and for ability is in the judgment and disposition of business. Read not to contradict and confuse, not to believe, and to take for granted, nor to find talk in discourse, but to weigh and consider.
The Phi Beta Kappa torch is a symbolic of knowledge. The white rose is an example of purity and beauty of life. With its white bud signifying intellectual associations, you have been presented with a white rose as a symbol of our newly formed intellectual friendship. And now, our president, Bethany Howell.
The Phi Theta Kappa torch is symbolic of knowledge. The white, oh, I'm so sorry, I was reading her part again. The emblem of Phi Theta Kappa is a golden slab, keyed at the top and bottom. The golden field, like a shield of our coat of arms, refers to the golden opportunities that abound on every hand for society members to evidence their culture and perform good works. Since gold is the most noble of metals, it shall have a further significance to our society, for it shall represent that nobility attained by those who achieve intellectual leadership. Across the slab, you will observe a black band. It represents the three ideals which band us together, and the cultural self-control, which is the necessary foundation for true wisdom, aspiration, and purity. Shining through the black enamel background are the three Greek letters, which are the initials of those three Greek words, meaning wisdom, aspiration, and purity. Behind the band is a wreath, on one side composed of oak leaves, and on the other, laurel. The oak leaves stand for stability and strength of character, as symbolized by the sturdy oak. The graceful, curling leaves of the laurel signify achievement and success, all attributes for membership in our society. Above the band is the representation of the head of Athena, a symbol of learning. In the base appear the Greek letters meaning light, the light of knowledge and learning, the common ideal for members of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. This badge stands as a symbol for the high idealism of our organization and membership in our select group. The purpose of PTK is to foster a spirit of devotion to study and to scholarly ideals among its members whose principles are embodied in the Greek letters, which stand for wisdom, aspiration, and purity. Now that you have heard the standards and ideals of this organization, it is time to complete the pledge which admits you into complete fellowship. Repeat after me. I, state your name, do solemnly promise on this 7th day of November to uphold the standards of Phi Theta Kappa and to keep this object and aim in mind, and I do solemnly pledge allegiance to my fellow members and promise to aid them in all worthy endeavors. I now call upon you to approach and sign our chapter record book. Eli Stewart. Shelby Spratlin. Brittany Charles. Chloe Newberry. Kelsey Sherman. Lauren Wilson. Timothy Hall. Sidani Rollerson. David Thompson. Shauna Evans. Kaya Rich. Cassidy Pinner. Taya Peacock. Carol Doherty. Nicholas Melvin. Anna Wells. Andrea Kirkland. Tiffany Gaskins. Kelly Parson. Jana Campmeyer. Brandon Kamerzak. Mitchell Combs. Taryn Roberts. Destiny Corbett. Brooke Noblet. Tabitha Cadlick. Tara Rashi. And Drew Evans. Please take your seats.
It is my pleasure to welcome you into the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society and the lively fellowship of scholars it affords. I salute you for your accomplishment. I charge you to always explore for truth and to dedicate yourselves to the cultivation of the well-reasoned life, a prelude to service and honor. I would like to thank our audience of family members, friends, current Phi Theta Kappa members, and faculty and staff of Florida Gateway College for helping to honor our newest members of Phi Theta Kappa. I would also like to thank Dr. Lawrence Barrett for joining us today. New PTK members, please stand. The recessional will now begin. I would like to ask you all to come back up to the stage for a group photo. Afterwards, please join us in fellowship for some refreshments immediately following this ceremony. Thank you for coming, and have a wonderful evening.